Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Namaste. Good evening to folks in India. Good morning to folks in the US, and good afternoon to folks in the Europe. So, hope you're able to hear me well. Yes. And was the music playing well for you? Because when we do the meditation, music was good, right? Okay, the volume was fine. If not, you can adjust it on your devices. So wonderful. So we are into session 3 or week 3 or Saturday number 3 of this Living in Coherence session being presented by Pyramid Valley International. For those of you who are joining new, Pyramid Valley is an international meditation retreat located south of Bangalore. I hope all of you have been following this course over the last 2 sessions. If any of you have joined fresh this session, can you just please type in the chat window that you are new? Just type the word new. I just want to see how many of you are new. If you have seen the earlier YouTube session, that's also okay. But if you haven't seen anything, but join this session straight, quite a few of them. Okay. So I'll do a recap anyway. So I know I hope all of you are aware. If you are in the Telegram group, you would have got the message. All these are the recordings of these sessions are available on the Pyramid Valley YouTube channel. You go to YouTube, type Pyramid Valley International Coherence, you'll be able to get these videos. So last 2 videos can be there. You can share it to people. And one suggestion is people who are attending new, it would be better if they attend the go through the earlier sessions and then come. All right, so with that, let us start today's session, another information-packed, technique-packed session. Okay, so one request is, I would suggest everyone to have a notebook and a pen, or a paper and a pen, or a paper and a pencil, because we're going to go through a lot of techniques. Unfortunately, in the 1 hour, we cannot, okay, please go ahead, and 1 hour, we cannot cover all of them. So at least the names of them, if you can note down, you can then go to YouTube and the web and search for those for any details. Right. So please have a pen and paper with you, a notebook and a paper, notebook and a pencil, whatever it is, something to write down. Take your time, you can get it. So we're going to cover list, a lot of techniques, because today's session is about the tools to control, manage, or alter our state of consciousness. So with that, let's get started. So today's session 3 is about tools for managing consciousness. A quick recap. In the last couple of sessions, in the first session, we spoke about what is consciousness and why consciousness matters. So consciousness is nothing but our level of awareness to internal and external events. Internal events, external surroundings is known as a state of consciousness. And then, as we know, we are in different states of consciousness in different times. For example, when we are sick, we are not as aware as when we are normal. And when our mind is confused, mind is anxious, mind is thinking about something, again, we are not as aware as normal, right? So level of awareness, and then the level of awareness is influenced by the number of thoughts, feelings, and perceptions we have, and other distractions. Distractions could be internal, which is our internal thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and it could be external, could be because of it is hot, it is cold, sounds, noise, whatever it is, all those have an impact on consciousness. And then state of your consciousness depends on your energy level. We covered that in first session, right? And depending on your energy, your state of consciousness defined. When you are completely happy, vibrating at a higher energy, you are able to be conscious of a lot more, right? While whereas when you are in pain, your state of consciousness or your energy level is less, your consciousness is less. So, and then we looked at the qualities of consciousness. What is consciousness? So consciousness, for those of you who joined us new, you could call it as the divinity in you, the God in you, the soul in you. Right? So these are the qualities of consciousness: intelligence, freedom, perfection, collectiveness. I mean, there's a connected aspect there. Abundance, it is not limited in quantity, and then bliss. At any of the time you feel any of these qualities without a reason, suddenly you feel a sense of freedom. Suddenly you feel that whatever you did was absolutely perfect, right? So those are all coming from your inner consciousness or your inner soul. And what determines a state of consciousness? I just mentioned that, right? So consciousness is like the moon that you see in the picture. We've covered the last couple of weeks, and our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, our ideas, our perceptions, our beliefs are all those clouds. So the clouds really cloud the light of consciousness. And today's session is about understanding several tools and techniques to manage those clouds, right? So to make sure the clouds don't hide the consciousness, they're not bothered by the clouds, or to remove the clouds or make the clouds static, as you will, right? So it's basically about managing our thoughts so that our level of thoughts and intensity of thoughts is lost less, and then the consciousness within shines forth as it is supposed to be. I mean, I always say the slide that you saw earlier was, these are all like our factory settings of our consciousness. Okay, that's fine. And then last week we saw how do we measure consciousness, right? So consciousness, there are 3 dimensions, right? In terms of how wide or how broad is our consciousness. When we are sick, our level of consciousness, we said there is scientific evidence that says at any point of time, your conscious awareness is only 120 bits per second, right? And that kind of shrinks when you are sick. It shrinks when you are completely in pain. So the level of thinking that you can do when you are sick or when you're in pain is limited compared to the level of thinking that you can do during normal times, right? So that defines the width of the consciousness, and what goes in during those conscious moments depends on your thoughts and your emotions and your thinking at that particular point of time. And we said that could be any of the 3. It could stem from fear-based consciousness, your ego-based consciousness, or it could be a logical thinking, something you're applying, something your whatever you learned, you're applying. Or it could be when fear-based ego consciousness doesn't fill the moment, then universal consciousness or soul consciousness fills it. And that is when miracles happen. And the 3rd dimension is how long are you able to stay in that state? For example, you finish a wonderful session of meditation or yoga or breathwork, or you do a wonderful sport, and then you are completely free, you're completely aware, you're absolutely peaceful, joyful. How long are you able to sustain that state is the 3rd dimension. But some of us who are beginners to meditation or not in the meditation world yet, so for them that state probably persists only for a few minutes. Whereas for some of us who've been into the meditation practice for a long time, that state of peace, that state of tranquility, that state of equanimity persists for a longer duration. And again, after a while, there is some incident, someone doing something that is uncomfortable to you. So obviously thoughts flood in, anger floods in, and all that. So the duration of consciousness, how long you are in that state also varies. So 3 dimensions of consciousness. And last week, we looked at several models of consciousness. We said that there is as part of the brain, there is a conscious brain, which is a neocortex. There is an emotional brain or a subconscious brain, which is the limbic brain. And there is an unconscious part of it, which is the reptilian brain. And we also looked at the different states, the brainwave states, right from normally the number of thoughts per second will be vibrating at a frequency of beta. Then as you close your eyes and get into meditation, it gets into alpha. And then as you get deeper into meditation, meditative practices, your brainwaves slow down, your mind becomes calmer. And a deeper stage, there is a coherence among all the brain. That was a brain model, right? And then we looked at the mind model from a yogic perspective, basically conscious mind, subconscious mind, superconscious mind, or the soul conscious mind, right? And then we looked at from the Yoga Sutras perspective, there is chitta, and there is ahamkara, there is manas, and there is intellect, which is buddhi. Right? There are different lives. And then we looked at it from a life perspective. There are 6 stages of consciousness from a life perspective, the way you perceive life, right? So there is first stage is about you feel life is all about life happens to me, right? It's a stage of victim. And then the second stage is about life happens by me, you're a creator. And then life happens in me. And then the third stage, the fourth stage is about life happens for me. And the fifth stage is life happens through me. And then the last one, life is me, right? So there are those stages that we covered. Again, a lot of content is there on the web. And the last model is around soul. We just briefly covered, but we will cover that a lot more in session 5. And there is a lot of new material that has come around that about ego and soul dynamics. We'll talk about that during that time. And we looked at this, the levels of energy at any point of time. At any point of time, the predominance in our consciousness could be any of these emotions, right? It could be anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy. So that comes from our ego consciousness. And then it could be optimism, trust. Suppose if you're attending this in a sense of learning something new, really about curiosity, then you're all about 200, right? But if someone has forced you to attend this and you're waiting for how long is it going to take, when is it going to get over, then you are more in the ego or identity consciousness, right? And as we continue to do the sessions, there may be some wisdom that triggers an insight in you. Oh, wow, I didn't know that, right? That means then you are in the higher levels of energy, which is understanding, love, gratitude. So that is how consciousness shifts. While you continue to attend the session itself, there are shifts in consciousness. Again, a lot of material is available from David Hawkins, a lot of books. Power versus Force is one of his major books. And then I just want to recap the model that we're going to look at for today and then going forward. So this is the mind system model. Again, we covered it last class. So we have a conscious mind. All our conscious thoughts, conscious behavior comes from the conscious mind. That is the conscious part of the brain, which is your neocortex. And then there is the subconscious mind, and I've combined subconscious and unconscious in some models. So subconscious mind is the seat of your ego, seat of your memory, right? And then seat of your beliefs, habits, attitudes, everything, right? It's seat of your pain. It's the seat of your knowledge. It's the seat of your wisdom. And then there is the superconscious mind or the higher mind, which is the mind of the soul, which is what the consciousness, the qualities of consciousness we talked about. So that is like innate intelligence, that is joy, that is peace, right? All miracles happen there. And then we saw the more we silence our subconscious mind, we are able to get connected to the superconscious mind. Please remember this model, because some of the techniques as we discuss, we will be talking about cleansing the subconscious mind, cleansing the patterns, and connecting to the superconscious mind. So you must have heard about the programming, you must have heard about the beliefs that we have, belief patterns, attitudes, behaviors, all those are seated in the subconscious mind. Right from our childhood, we get programmed that way, right? I mean, you need to be afraid of something. You need to be able to get respect. We are afraid. We have a fear of losing respect, fear of people, whatever, fear of situations, all those fears, all those hatred, all those likes and dislikes, everything gets seated in the subconscious mind. And the whole purpose of all these tools of consciousness is to see how we can manage that subconscious, either silence it or cleanse things in that subconscious mind, so that those clouds, the subconscious mind is what gives forth to those clouds that we looked at in the earlier picture. So once the clouds become static, clouds get diminished, then the light of superconscious or the higher mind shines forth through you. That is intuition. That is your inner intelligence. That is in your insights, right? That is your love and peace. So subconscious mind is usually, subconscious mind, there are good uses of subconscious mind. For example, subconscious mind houses memory. like you keep saying, right? Driving, you keep driving, you don't need to always be conscious of it, right? Obviously, being mindful of it helps. But a lot of those things, anything that you learned, even good habits, positive habits, repetitive tasks, all that go into subconscious mind. So we don't want to clear those. What we want to clear those are the kleshas, what Yoga Sutras talk about, right? Those 5 kleshas: fear, ignorance, ego, likes and dislikes, or desire and aversion. Those are the things that we need to clear from subconscious mind. And like we said, we operate at any point of time at any of these levels. Ego consciousness or identity consciousness pretty much comes from the subconscious mind. Linear, logical, learned consciousness comes from our rational mind, which is our conscious mind, which is our neocortex and memory. And then the last one, universal or soul consciousness, comes from the superconscious mind. So there is a correlation between these two, as you can see, right? So net, our behavior arises from the level of one's consciousness, right? So we saw one of the levels of energy or consciousness is what to say, anger or shame, right? So if that is going to be my predominant feature of my consciousness, if I am in that state, all my behavior, everything that I act, everything that I talk, everything that I interact with, all comes from that shame or fear, right? So alternatively, if my level of consciousness is always about trust and love, all my interactions, all my work stems from that level of consciousness. So behavior arises from the level of one's consciousness. And what we are going to look at today is several techniques that allow us to change that level of consciousness from one to the other. And if you look at it, we saw this, the whole quest for all of us in this spiritual journey is about moving from ego consciousness to soul consciousness. Why are we in ego consciousness? And there is a big science behind it. That is what we will cover in session 5. It's a wonderful topic and wonderful content that we just discovered. So it talks about how ego is essential for the soul to survive in this world. And the key thing is we need to identify ego for what it is, but not get attached to the ego. So moving from ego consciousness to soul consciousness, the very fact that 125 people are attending this session means you decided to make that shift from ego consciousness to soul consciousness. How do we do it? Through 2 key skills: awareness and acceptance, right? So there are a lot of techniques that help us become a lot more aware, including meditation. And there are a lot of techniques that help us to accept, techniques of wisdom and knowledge that help us to accept things as they are. So with that, let's dive into today's topic. So we're going to look at several techniques to enhance our awareness and acceptance. Those are the 2 skills that we need to move from ego consciousness to soul consciousness. All right. So before that, I want to just quickly talk about there are 5 states of mind according to yogic science, and you can always feel be in the one. So state number 1 is what is called muda, which is called lethargic, lazy mind, dull mind. Right. This is the mind when we have or the state of brain when we are feeling sleepy, feeling lethargic, when you have too much of food, right, too much of pain, and when we are sick. So that is the state of mind when we are that way. That is lethargic and muda. The second state of mind is restless. The third one, restless, is always having too much thoughts, right? And I think the next picture talks about it. The restless state of mind is the monkey mind. All of us sit in meditation and we get this thought, that thought, oh my God, I need to do, I don't know how long it's going to take, right? So that is the kshipta. Restless state of mind is the monkey mind, keeps wandering from one place to another place. Muda mind is like the dull mind, right? Again, these are all just annotations. We are not talking anything about the animal or the science that we're talking about. All animals are intelligent enough to their level of consciousness, right? We're just illustrating things here. The third state of mind is always fluctuates. That's called the vikshipta, like the butterfly, right? It says, I want to do this now, then after a while, you think something else is happening, so something else is happening. The new thoughts keep coming up, You're always in that disturbed state or confused state. What do I do? What should I do this or should I not do this? Someone told me something, someone told me this, right? So the mind keeps on fluctuating. That's on that state you are in. So these are the three normal states of mind that we usually are in. And these are called chitta bhumis. Remember during the last session, we said chitta is consciousness. And yoga is nothing but yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta vritti. Vritti is the waves of consciousness. Arresting the waves of consciousness is yoga. And meditation is a key part of yoga. So once we do those practices, our mind becomes one of the bottom two, right? It's like it becomes one-pointed, very focused, which is called ekagra or ekagrata. And then over time, it becomes absolutely still, right? Stillness. So that is what is nirodha, arrested. That is the goal of yoga, all yogic practices. Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. Nirodha is that arrested. It's about calming the mind, silencing the mind, emptying the mind. You can call it whatever it is. So when we do that, when the clouds go away, and that is when, why should we empty the mind? Why should we silence the mind? Only then the light, the moonlight that we saw, the sunlight, is the light of our consciousness, light of our soul radiates. We are aligned with that. We are coherent with our soul intelligence, not with the likes and dislikes, the fluctuations of our ego. So the techniques that we're going to talk about primarily involves getting us from one of those three top states to one of the two bottom states. And as you continue your deep practices like meditation and others, you will over time you will get into focused, concentrated stage or those nirodha or the rested state, right? And here are the psychological triggers that alter your state of consciousness, right? I'm just going to give you an example. So one is anytime you know new knowledge, then immediately there is a bulb that goes into your brain, right? Oh, wow. So that means you were in a different state of consciousness. Now, because of that new knowledge, new insight, you got into higher level of it. It could be as simple as, for example, you might be thinking, I need to probably go book a ticket, walk 2 miles. Tomorrow I need to schedule time, walk 2 kilometers and then go book a ticket for something. But then suddenly your friend or someone says, no, you can book your ticket from your mobile phone. And that means it's a big relief for you. Immediately there is a change in consciousness. Oh, wow, is that so? Then you go and change it. So any new knowledge, any new experience that you have, of late there are a lot of new experiences. So that changes your state of consciousness. And then conscious discovery, insights, epiphanies, very, very similar. Right? So suddenly you are reading a book or your friend or someone is talking about something and suddenly you have a discovery or an epiphany. Oh, wow, that's how it works. That is why it did not work, or that is why I was feeling bad, right? So it could be anything. It could be because our mind always has assumptions in those first three states of mind. There are a lot of assumptions, a lot of imaginations that we are floating around. So conscious discovery, insights, epiphanies also shifts your level of consciousness. Now, obviously, silencing the chatter in your mind, making it ekagra or niruddha is one. Deep concentration, as I said, is ekagra. And then when you lose a sense of self, when you empty your mind through meditation and some of the practices that we talk about, when your mind becomes absolutely peaceful, absolute light, absolute mind, empty, again, there is a shift in a state of awareness. And then when you're happy, when there is perfect synchronization, perfect coherence between your body and mind, no ill health, right? And that again is a state of consciousness. And synchrony between mind and soul, right? When you're absolutely in tune with the intelligence of the soul, that's a different state of consciousness. That is where creativity flows from within, intuition. You don't even apply your conscious mind, but things flowing, right? So these are all the triggers for you to move into a different states of consciousness. And these are some of the practices that allow us to move into it. So here are the tools that we're going to cover today. Again, these are broad level tools. Under each of these, there are 5 or 6. That is what I said. Maybe you can note those down or revisit this video later. So there are 2 types of approaches for us to alter our consciousness. One is energy-based techniques, which is more Eastern science-based or Eastern spirituality-based. And then there are insight-based techniques, which is more comes from the Western psychology. Right? It looks at mind, whereas the Eastern technique looks at just the energy flow. And you can see there are different areas or categories we're going to cover. And each of these has a different effect on these three things that are going to happen as we do those practices. So each of these calm the conscious mind. As I said, moving from 100 thoughts per second to 20 thoughts per second. Moving from your restless state, right, Kshipita, through to Ekagra or Nirodha, right? So restless monkey mind to focused mind, right? So that is what happens in calming the mind. Cleansing the subconscious. So that happens with some techniques wherein your fear, your subconscious, deeply unconscious patterns are cleansed automatically, cleared automatically. And the third one is it connects to your superconscious soul. Once those first two happens, it connects to your superconscious mind. So I hope you're getting where we are going. We looked at the three states of mind: conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. And then we said the whole idea is to kind of silence the subconscious mind so that we are connected to our superconscious or soul, which is what the quest for spiritual practice is all about, right? So we will look at some of these one by one. Breathwork. So we're going to look at few breathwork practices. We're going to look at meditation practices. We're going to look at emotional healing or mind work, as I call. We're going to look at some reflection practices. We're going to talk about our flow, and there are some other techniques that we don't cover in depth now, but they also kind of have a state, alter the state of consciousness. All right. So breath work. I don't know. We have too many slides. Okay, so breath work, again, I'm not going to talk too much about it. All of you know, breath is the bridge between your body, mind, and soul. Breath is one thing that is common. Breath also links your conscious mind, subconscious mind, or unconscious mind as well. That is because breath is the one that links your sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. A lot of science behind it. So breath work leads to higher levels of consciousness and peak performance. And some breath work, as some of you might have, people who have been attending transcendental breath work, Vishayans would have been also felt that it produces ecstatic states of being. And it brings awareness. So there's a lot of science behind it. And there is a rhythm in the breath. The breath is different in the morning, evening, and with different emotions. When you're angry, your breath, pace of your breath is different. When you're peaceful, when you're loving, when you're playing with your child, when you're having a loving conversation with your friend, so your breath is different. When you're sick, your breath is different, right? So it changes with emotions. It changes with the day of the time. And even in the breath, you're breathing in from your left nostril and breathing out from your right nostril. Sometimes you will be breathe from your in from your right nostril and breathe out from your left nostril. Your pace changes, your length of inhale, exhale changes, your place of inhale, exhale changes, everything changes as we go along, right? So there is rhythm in the breath, and that is why we all practice this breath mindfulness meditation. The moment you are mindful of the breath without analysis, that means you have complete awareness. You are able to be aware of a lot of things. So with that, there are several breathwork techniques. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about pranayama, which is one of the integral parts of our yogic science. So there are several techniques called equal breathing. We're just going to talk about it. Equal breathing, alternate nostril breathing, which is more the, Nadi Shuddhi, right? So Anulom, Vinulom, so those are the things. There's box breathing and there are others. I'll just quickly cover what is possible here. So equal breathing technique is nothing but you sit in a comfortable posture. You breathe in, we practiced it in the last session, I think. So we breathe in for 3 counts, breathe out for 3 counts. Right? You do not hold or retain your breath. Breathing should be easy, smooth, and long. No effort. Only thing is you're very conscious of the breathe in and you are conscious of your breathing out. This is called equal breathing. So you count like 1, 2, 3, 4. You breathe in. Then you immediately 1, 2, 3, 4. You can close your eyes or open your eyes, whatever it is, right? So this is called the equal breathing. It's also called samavritti in yogic science. So you breathe in, so you can start with 3 counts, then slowly increase your 4 count. So then increase it to 5 or 6, whatever it is. It relaxes the central nervous system, improves your focus and concentration. Equal breathing quiets the mind also. So anytime you're not able to get into deep meditation, just practicing equal breathing soothes your nervous system. It empties your mind. In fact, this is one practice I suggest for people who find it difficult to settle down into meditation, who have a lot of those restless mind, right? So, and I've noticed every time I've done, we do it in the retreats as well. So when people do this for 5 minutes before getting into their meditation, they're able to get into the meditative state much faster. The thoughts kind of reduce, right? So there is a special type of equal breathing which is called coherent breathing. Again, you can search it on the web. Please note it down. So you can search on the web. So coherent breathing, there's a lot of science behind it. What is coherent breathing? Coherent breathing is basically equal breathing and breathing at an ideal breath rate. What is ideal breath rate? It is 3.5 to 6 breaths per minute. 6 breaths per minute means it's like 10, ideal breath rate is between that 3.5 to 6 breaths, whereas coherent breathing is at sweet spot 5 breaths per minute. 6 breaths per minute means 10 seconds per breath. 5 seconds for inhale, 5 seconds for exhale. 5 seconds for inhale, 5 seconds for exhale. All right, so that is what is coherent breathing. So coherent breathing is even slower than that. So it will almost be around 6 seconds or 7 seconds. It could be 7 or 8 seconds, so slowly. So what it does is it increases HRV, heart rate variability. Again, you can search it on the web. It's a different science. Heart rate variability measures your heart beat at different points of time, and there is a pattern to it. When you are in a negative emotion, the pattern is very uneven. Whereas in your normal and balanced, your sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system are balanced. That means it shows a high heart rate variability. That means your heart is readily able to vary depending on the situation. So it's able to kind of say there's no jerks in it, right? So your heart is healthy, your body is healthy, your heart and brain are in synchronization because, as we said, heart and your thoughts are in the brain, and that impacts your system, right? So let us practice this for a couple of minutes. As I said, I will just show you the clock as well. I think last time we did it. So I hope it is clear. So we're going to breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds. You can watch the monitor. I mean, I'm going to display a clock like last time. So slow breathe in as you inhale, breathe out as you exhale. Breathe in as you inhale, breathe out as you exhale. You'll also figure out how long a minute runs. All right. So let me just share this. So just loosen up your body, completely relax yourself. Just normal, natural breathe in and breathe out. Do not hold your breath. Just follow the timer and just ease into it. No jerks. You don't do, and then it's normal breathing, just the long nature of the breathing. All right. So let's just do it for 2 minutes and then we'll get back to the session. Start your inhale slowly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very slow, normal breathing. You shouldn't feel stressed out at all. This is supposed to be the most relaxing, good relaxation exercise. If you're unable to do it for 5 seconds, that is okay. Do it for whatever time you do, maybe 3 for some of you are beginning. It cannot be 5 seconds. Feel the movements in your chest and stomach. Feel free to inhale and exhale. Do not hold any part of it. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Do not strain or hold any part of your body. Do it as easy as possible. All right. So I hope you were able to follow through, right? I mean, we'll share these resources. We'll share that's a video on YouTube as well. So we'll share a link to that, so you can use that for your timer. Again, this is also called like a quick relaxation breath work, right? So anytime you are going into a meeting, anytime you are meeting someone, anytime you feel tense, you can just sit on the sofa and practice it normal as well, even without getting into deep meditation. And again, for kids who are getting into exams nowadays, so if they want to just relax just before they get into the exams or whatever, they can follow this practice. And you can always use it before a meditation as well. All right. So let's get, so that is one breath work. As I said again, do not worry about I'm not doing 5 seconds per inhale. It will happen gradually as we practice. You can start with 3 in, 3 out, 3, then slowly get to 4, then slowly get to 5, and then slowly get to as close as possible. So the ideal state of health is as less number of breaths you breathe every hour. And then obviously, I mean, there are different theories also, right? Depending on your lifespan is based on a number of breaths, something like that. So anyway, so there is science behind it. There is a book behind it. And then you can search on the web. So, and then there is this alternate nostril breathing. You can just write it down. We're not going to cover this. This again is about what we call as Nadi Shuddhi. So you just use this mudra to close your nose, and you inhale through one nose and exhale through other nose. Inhale through other nose, exhale through other nose, right? So it's again very standard technique in pranayamas. You please note it down. And then there is this thing called box breathing. This is again very relaxing. This is again, once you get comfortable with equal breathing, I would suggest to do this because it involves holding the breath. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. As you see the box at the bottom, right? So that is why it's called box breathing, square breathing, whatever. Again, there are equal amount of benefits: reduces stress, muscle tension, helps to cope with panic attacks, helps to treat insomnia. Again, this breath work is very easy when you find it hard to sleep. Where your mind is very anxious, you're not able to sleep, you can just get up and do this as well. And helps with depressions and increases positive feelings. And there are a lot of other techniques. Hatha yoga is another one. All of you know the yoga exercises that we do. Ideally, they are also, regulate the flow of prana, regulate the flow of your breath as well. So even that, when done with full awareness, is a kind of a breath work. Even that alters your state of consciousness. Any exercise that we do with full awareness, full mindfulness, alters your state of consciousness. And then holotropic breath work is another big Western science. And some, as I said, Shreyans Daga, he does, in fact, there's one that happens every Saturday, I guess. So he does this transcendental breath work. So it's basically about deep breathing, right? So it's basically about, so you do that for, I think, 15-20 minutes with accompaniment of music and all that. So it elevates, it gets you into a state of consciousness where a lot of emotions get cleared, where you get into those different ecstatic states. And again, there are different holotropic breathwork techniques as well. And you see a lot of other techniques: labeled breathing, heart-focused breathing, right? Kapalbhati, some of you know, there's 4-4-6-2, which is 4 seconds of inhale, 4 counts of inhale, 4 counts of holding, 6 counts of exhale, 2 counts of holding. There is science to all of these, so you can just verify and look up at the web, right? So that's about the breath work. So we'll not cover too much about it. So breathing itself allows you to, the right breath work allows you to, right pranayama allows you to alter your state of consciousness. It moves you from one of those 3 states: the restless mind, the wavering mind, and the dull mind to a more alert mind. Now let's move to the second category, which is the meditative practices. Again, here there are tons of meditative practices. So there are some meditative practices that help you focus. Either they give you a word, which is almost like mantra meditation, or they ask you to focus on one point. Could be the heart, could be your brow, could be your eyes, could be your nose, some point in the nose, right? So it could be any of those things. They are called focus meditation. And then there is focus meditation, more pointed, or I'd say in closed loop meditation. And there are a lot of open meditations like the body scan meditation. Some of you might have practiced that if you had attended the earlier APS sessions or children's retreat at Summit Valley. So body scan, we'll attempt a bit of it towards the end of the session today, body scan. And then mindfulness meditation, which is what we all practice, which is the Anapanasati, breath mindfulness meditation. And there are other meditations like loving kindness, several other meditations in the Buddhist field, right? So as I said, focus meditation is you can practice fixing your focus on a single point, your breath, which is what breath mindfulness, a candle flame, a point, an object, a flower, whatever it is, very similar. Any thoughts that come in, you get away your thoughts and bring your attention back to that particular point. One of the popular focus technique is heart. Again, Heart Math Institute, which kind of has done a lot of research on heart-brain coherence. One of their key techniques is it's called heart-focused breathing technique. So as you continue to do your normal meditation, you bring your attention to the heart area, heart region. Heart region, not necessarily the heart area. It is the center of your chest, because that is your opening portal to your heart. That's where the heart chakra is. So the idea is you focus on that. And they also say heart is like the entry to your soul. Heart is the entry point to your higher levels of consciousness, right? Not the lower level of consciousness. So you focus attention on the area of your heart, and then you actually feel your breath coming through your heart region. That's what is heart focused. And any sensations that you feel out there, we'll try and incorporate that in today's meditation, right? It again helps with stress, helps neutralize emotions, help eliminate energy imbalances, and remove the drama or significance of a situation, right? Suddenly you've gone through a situation where you feel, why are people like this? You feel very frustrated. How can that person do like that, right? You get into that kind of emotional state, then it's good to silently sit and then just become very aware of the feelings at your heart. And slowly things start improving, because you'll move from that lower chakra levels of consciousness to higher chakra levels of consciousness. Breath mindfulness, all of us are aware. We will talk about it in subsequent classes. As I said, this is the Anapanasati meditation. Clasping your hands, bring your attention back to your breath, observe your breath, and then continue following. But again, you can call it as a special variety of focused meditation where you're focusing on the breath, but you're also a lot more aware of what happens with breath. Mindfulness includes a lot of awareness, whereas focus is just attention. Attention plus awareness plus acceptance is what is mindfulness. We'll do this body scan meditation. Again, I'll cover that towards the end. And then Buddhist tradition has a lot of special types of meditations. There's one called loving kindness meditation or metta meditation. Very popular, a lot of science behind it, and very effective, as you see from the studies. So this is basically about when you want to send loving feelings to someone, when you want to generate or elevate your level of energy to your higher chakras, right? In this meditation, what you do is you sit in normal meditation, follow your breath. Once you settle down, you bring a picture of a person, someone you love. You have it in the mind, and then in your mind, you tell these three statements: may you be free from suffering, may you have health and peace, and may you be filled with happiness. So you do that 3 times. And then similarly, you have your picture of your mind, because self-love is also important. Then you do the same thing. May I be free from suffering. May I have health and peace. May I be filled with happiness. And then you bring, the third step is you bring the picture of someone whom you don't love, whom you utterly dislike, whom you hate, or it could be just a stranger that you met somewhere, right? You just get the picture of that particular person, and then similarly you generate those feelings. But again, these are just not thoughts. There should be feelings associated with it also, again, more heart-centered. And you tell the same person, may you be free from suffering, may you have health and peace, and may you be filled with happiness. Again, there are a lot of variations of these statements, And at Pyramid Valley, we've been following this for quite a while and been pretty effective. And in fact, when people do during the retreats, and when they go back and check, there are instances where the particular person, the particular time also got reminded of this person who was thinking about that particular person. That's how energy works. All right, again, you can type loving kindness meditation, metta meditation. There are a lot of things and a lot of YouTube videos around this. With that, there are a lot of other techniques, transcendental meditation. A lot of you know there is heartfulness meditation, there is mantra meditation, visualization meditation, chakra meditation, sound meditation, right? Where nada yoga, nada dhyana. A lot of these techniques, all of these allow you to shift your levels of consciousness in different forms. Moving on to the next category of practices. So we saw two energy-based practices. One is breathwork and another is meditation, right? We'll cover one more in terms of mindfulness. So this is more about the psychology-based practice, right? Emotional healing. Again, there are a lot of techniques. We're just going to cover a little bit, right? Number one is affirmations, right? So you're going to quickly do that. So affirmations and EFT I'll talk about, Ho'oponopono. So things like past life regression, family constellation, inner child healing. So these are all cleanse your trauma, cleanse your past memories, cleanse your past beliefs, right? Get rid of the subconscious patterns by regressing you into the past. And there are other techniques like empty chair process, where you visualize someone sitting in an empty chair and you talking to that person. Either the person could be someone you don't like or a situation that you don't like, right? And something like letting go of limiting beliefs, there is a process, that's a meditation technique, guided meditation. A lot of other techniques like anger management, letting go, visualization, emotional bubble. A lot of techniques, you can just note these down or you can go revise the video and then go search on YouTube to do that. I just want to talk about a couple of things here, a couple of practices. But one is affirmation. All of us can probably relate affirmation to prayer as well, right? But affirmations, again, a lot of science behind affirmations. The reason affirmations work is because they work on a subconscious mind. You keep repeating the affirmation. What happens when you repeat something? It gets embedded in your memory. Where is your memory? Your memory is in your subconscious mind. Today, we've repeated things like, oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I'm not able to walk well. Oh, I am diabetic. I have blood pressure. Oh, I can't do this. I don't like this. So these are the things that we have memorized, and those are there in our subconscious mind. And whatever energy we have in the subconscious mind, that is what manifests, right? What you think is what you attract, right? Where you place your attention, energy flows where you place your attention, one of the laws. So this, using affirmations, we change that pattern. We always use positive things for you to. So I am good at making money, is an example, right? You keep repeating it every day. That's what goes sits in your subconscious mind. As you continue doing it, it replaces the other belief or pattern that you might have got into your subconscious mind, saying that, oh, I can't generate money. I don't have the skill to generate money. Or how can I get that particular seat or a job, right? So it replaces that. So the important things are, do it in a language that you understand, right? If you look at it, there are a lot of prayers that we have in a language, in Sanskrit and other languages. The problem is today we don't know Sanskrit, and then your mind understands a language. All your thoughts are in one language. Could be your mother tongue, could be in English, could be in Hindi, whatever it is, right? So these affirmations should be in that language so that your mind understands, records that in the memory. There are a lot of Sanskrit verses which do the same thing, right? I mean, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, right? For some of us who understand this, it's good, right? But some of us who don't, we can't repeat it like a parrot, right? As you see here, affirm with faith, trust, affirm with positive feelings, and do not affirm absent-mindedly. That is what we do. I mean, some of us who do the puja and mantra, right? So it's all like, okay, you keep uttering the mantras, which is good, which are powerful, right? They're all affirmations. But the problem is we don't lay focus. We just do it for the ritual part of it, whereas your mind is thinking something else. So do not affirm absent-mindedly. You feel the affirmation. You repeat that affirmation in your mind repeatedly. There are a lot of affirmations. Again, here are some of the examples here. Again, you can go type on the web. There are a lot of positive affirmations for health, positive affirmations for success. Each of these, again, cleanse the subconscious patterns. And so remove the subconscious patterns. If it could be fear, it could be lack, and then move your consciousness to a next level. Right? For example, everything that is happening now is happening for my ultimate good. Once you have that conviction, automatically you'll start trusting things. You'll start having the positive feeling. I am confident, capable, and magnetic. I love and accept myself for who I am. That's one of the things, right? So all souls are perfect. You are a soul, but all other clouds from the ego cloud that soul and say, oh, you're not good at this, you're not good at that. Every one of us has some talent, everyone has a quality, right? So these are affirmations. You can practice at any time of the day. The second technique, again, very popular technique, some of you might have heard, is called emotional freedom technique, which is EFT. Again, this is a kind of energy work. So this is, again, as we said, this is more we're looking at the psychology-based tools, right? Emotional freedom technique, it works at the energy level. If you look at it, it works on tapping. Some of you might have heard about it, right? So just like in Ayurveda, we have the nadis and channels flowing through it. Similarly, it looks at the Eastern medicine of Chinese thing they call meridians and channels. It involves tapping at key points, right? So again, you look at the web, there are wonderful websites, wonderful videos that talk about it. We will practice quickly one part of it. So you choose a problem on which to focus. Let's say you have headache. Let's say you have pain. Let's say you are feeling very anxious, or some problem that you have, and completely settle down, let the feelings arise, right? And then the first step is kind of you set up. So basically there is this hand here. Okay, so I'll just okay, and I'll come back to the tapping thing here. So even though so you set up the EFT. The first step is you do the tapping here in your hand right now, right? And then you talk about even though I feel pain. You read the sentence on the slide. Even though I feel pain, even though I'm anxious, even though I don't have the job, even though I don't have the money to buy something, whatever it is, right? Even though it's about you, it's not about somebody else. Don't think about your partner, your kid, or your wife, or your parents. It's about you. So even though I feel that pain, even though you can substitute that feel pain with something, I deeply, completely, and unconditionally love, accept, and forgive myself. Or you can just take a small, I deeply, completely love myself, right? So that is the setup statement. You can repeat the same statement throughout, and then you start tapping multiple times, right? So the tapping points are this. We'll do it together. So there is this eyebrow, there is the side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose on the upper lip, the chin. You use 2 fingers or 3 fingers, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And the chin, the collarbone, where you have the bone, under the collarbone, under the arm, and top of the head. This is how it works. And every time you do that, you utter some positive affirmations. I want to have an amazing day today. I want to feel loud, happy, healthy, whatever, right? So let's quickly, I'll just stop the video so that you're able to see. So first thing, let's affirm what it is about, right? So you can just take your hand. This is called the karate chop point. You can just use your fingers. You can just do this. First, relax. And here you repeat, even though I substitute something that you want, even though I feel pain, I deeply, completely, and unconditionally love, accept, and forgive myself. You can do it for 5, 6, 7 times. That doesn't matter. And then the idea is you give a rating of from 0 to 10. It's called the SUD scale. How deeply you are feeling that pain, right? If you are, for example, if I am having a headache right now or any pain, you can rate it as I'm having a headache of 8, or I'm deeply anxious about something. So that is on the 8. Higher the scale, more pain you are, right? You keep repeating this, and then you again measure your intensity. It will come slowly from 8 to 6 to 5 to 3, and then it will vanish, right? So that is the whole idea. So you give it a rating, and then you start tapping with your 2 fingers, right, on your eyebrow. So you can say, I want to have an amazing day today. And side of the eye, I want to feel loved, happy, healthy. And under the eye, I want my day to be wonderful, filled with happenings I like. Then under the nose, on the upper lip, I accept life the way it is. And then on the chin, here, below your lips, though there are hurdles on any great day, I accept and overcome those. And then under the arm, just right under the arm, so allow for me to go with the flow. Or you can repeat the same affirmation, right? And then the top of the head. I feel life is working for me. I don't have to stress and strain on anything. Right? And then you take a deep breath. And then take a measure of how you feel, how your pain is feeling, right? From a scale of 8, has it come down to 6 or 4 or whatever it is? Then repeat the process again. So you can do it anytime, anywhere, anytime you feel anxious, right? So again, there are a lot of scripts for this. Again, a lot of techniques, a lot of videos around each of those. All right, so that is another emotional release technique. It works wonders in combination with some of the other techniques as well. But if someone is not ready to do those kind of techniques, then this will kind of help. I'm sure some of you might have practiced these, and maybe some of you are also experts in those. So the point here is, I'm just illustrating that one of the techniques for you to get relieved of your negative emotions and then move up to a higher state of positive emotions. All right. So how are we doing on time? We just have 1 hour. Okay. So the next one is Ho'oponopono. Some of you may be aware, or most of you may be aware. This is again Hawaiian self-healing method, completely based on emotional energies. There is a big story around it. How a doctor in Hawaii got very hardcore criminals in a jail in Hawaii, got them cured of their pain, agony, and distress just by uttering these 5 statements remotely, right? And these 5 statements are, again, you get into a meditation pose, you kind of either bring in mind to a situation or a person that you've been feeling bad about, right? And then you utter these statements: I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. So these are the 5 statements. And again, you don't utter it immediately. So you say, I'm sorry. So there is a guided meditation for this. Again, you might have seen some videos on Pyramid Valley YouTube as well. So you can follow those. And we do this over a 1-hour session during our retreats. So this again, wonderful emotional cleansing method. When people do these sessions, a lot of people go through some emotional cleansing in terms of people start crying, people start shouting loud during the sessions, right? So again, very powerful and effective method. You can research a lot more about it. You can practice this by yourself, looking at the videos as well. And there is a science behind each of those statements, right? Why you talk about I am sorry, it provides you a sense of connectedness. It gives you a sense of responsibility. It provides you a sense of oneness, because love is that elevated feeling. And thank you is about expressing gratitude. All these are associated with higher level feelings. All right, so with that, I think probably getting to the last section of this techniques. So there are total bunch of techniques under reflection. Some of you might have heard about things like journaling, gratitude, and other techniques, right? So ksiptly on journaling, very simple. You just, anytime that your mind is crowded, anytime you are in those restless state of mind, kshipita, vikshipita, right, or you're very anxious, one of the immediate therapies is take a piece of paper, take a pen, just write down whatever is in your mind. When your mind gets emptied, your consciousness moves up, your level of awareness shifts up. Because there are too many things stored in the mind. Remember last class we talked about that 8 boxes. Your 8 boxes is filled with a lot of things. Now you've emptied it onto a paper, so you have boxes that are free to take in new information or to allow you to be peaceful, right? So journaling is one, and again, one of the practices we promote during our retreats. So at about every end of the day, you can just go reflect how your state of being was throughout the day, how you felt. It's not about describing what happened in the morning, what happened in the afternoon, what happened in the evening. It's not a task reflection. It's reflecting on your state of mind, on your feelings. Morning, you had breakfast. That is something you didn't like. I was kind of very angry at my mom or at the wherever you had. Why do they serve this kind of breakfast? That was a feeling that you had. But then you got over it, right? And then you went through the day. You met someone, you either felt angry, you felt happy. So basically a journal of your feelings throughout the day. And that kind of brings in a lot more awareness to your mind and then elevates the consciousness. Similarly, gratitude, again, one of the things that we emphasize in all our meditations. Being grateful is one of the highest form of energy. You must have seen in that map of consciousness, right? Gratitude is the top soul consciousness level. So anytime anything happens, just feel happy for it, feel grateful for it, just say thank you. And again, there are a lot of techniques. Gratitude journaling, you can write down what you've been thankful for, 5 things that you've been thankful for today. Or I normally do is at the end of my meditation, I just open up and say thank you for a lot of things that happened yesterday. Or at any point of the day, you can talk about 5 things that it's called the 5-finger exercise. You can think about 5 things that you've been grateful for since this morning. It could be for that cup of coffee. It could be for that wonderful food that you had. It could be for the wonderful visit to the doctor or wonderful work that you did, right? It could also be things that did not happen. You went to a job interview, it did not happen, but feel thankful for it. Maybe something else in store for you, right? You didn't get something that you wanted, which is also fine because there is also plan or design for it, right? So there are different exercises. Again, please search for gratitude journal, whole science behind it, a lot of research studies. Gratitude, again, brings you to a higher level of consciousness. And then this is another exercise that has worked with my classes a lot of time. Again, a very psychology-driven exercise. This is about 5 whys. Anytime that you are troubled in taking a decision, anytime you are in that butterfly, vikshapita state of mind, you are jumping from this to that, whether to do this, whether to do that or not, or anything that is bothering you, to find the root cause of it, what psychology says. I think there's one gentleman behind it who's found this. So you need to ask why 5 times to the answer to those questions. It's very simple. It's very effective, right, for uncovering the root of a problem. It could be, why am I feeling so bad? Why am I feeling anxious for tomorrow's presentation or tomorrow's meeting something? Because. So why? Because. It's an iterative technique used to explore the cause and effect relationships underlying a problem. You can do it. You can take a paper, list down a problem. Here's an example, right? You've been thinking, I want to own my business. I want my own business, but obviously there are a lot of difficulties or whatever, right? So the goal is I want to own my business. Why do you want to own your business? So the answer is maybe to allow me to have greater control on how I spend my time. Why do you want to have greater control on your time? Because I can have more flexibility in my life. Why do you want to have flexibility in your life? What is it that you're losing? I'll be able to work from home. Why do you want to work from home? I'll be able to spend more time with my son or daughter. So why do I want to do that? It's about supporting my family is the most important thing to me. It leads to a value that you have. It leads to a real feeling that you have, right? It could be either aligned to your value or it could be aligned to a purpose, right? And then you get that clarity, right? So it could be as simple as, okay, why did usually I go through very fine, but today I went through a red signal and I got fined. Why did I do that? So you can trace the root cause of it, right? So you can do that exercise right now. You just take a piece of paper. You have a piece of paper. Just list down a goal or a problem that is haunting you. and go through this 5 why exercises, right? You can just mark it this way, why, and then write an answer to it, and then write the answer to the question and the next why, and after the next why. Or in the interest of time, maybe you could do it subsequently as well. But this is the technique here. So it's called the 5 whys. By the 6th why, you'll probably get to the root cause of what you want to do, right? And you can continue beyond, but generally the 5 whys are usually important. The 6th answer that you get is the one that you've been looking for. Okay, so that's one. Then there's this other big exercise some of you might know. It's called The Work by Byron Katie. Again, very powerful. There is a book by Byron Katie on this whole thing. It documents how people underwent emotional cleansing, emotional healing, transformation through this exercise. It's called The Work. I think he did a TV show also based on this. So it's about 4 statements or 4 questions that you ask yourself or you ask the other person. If there are therapists and healers in this or coaches in this audience, it's useful for them, right? So someone says, okay, I feel very bad about my job, or I feel very bad about my partner, or I feel very angry about my kid. It could be anything that is troubling you, or I don't know why my father behaves this way, right? And then you ask these 4 questions. Is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? So the true sense is what gives you that change of switch of consciousness, right? As I said, the epiphanies happen during this 4. And then how do you react when you believe that thought? So from truth, it goes down to belief. And then it talks about what would you be without the thought. If you didn't have the thought, what would you be? Invariably, the answer would be, I would be peaceful. I would be calmer, right? And then I would be happy. So that exactly is what it brings you an awareness saying that I am happy, I am joyful, but that thought is what is preventing me from doing it. And then you come up with a turnaround, right? Are you really happy is it really true that you are happy? For example, what would you be without the thought, right? Is that true? Without the thought, you'll really be happy. Can you absolutely know that it's true? How do you react when you believe the thought? How do you react that if I do not have the thought, I will be peaceful? Right? And then, so that again dives deeper into the positive aspect. Again, a lot of science between that. And here is how you can do this exercise yourself. Again, you can pause the video later and then do this as well. So you notice who or what upsets, angers, or saddens you and why. Recall a specific situation. You note that down, write it down, capture your stressful thoughts on a worksheet using short, simple sentences. And then you ask that one question by question as you saw in this. Is that true? Can I know absolutely it's true? There are worksheets. Let me see if we can share some of those worksheets to our Telegram channel or Telegram group, right? Or even could be email. Some of the resources are there. Again, you can just go type The Work by Byron Katie, very powerful. And some of you might come back. In fact, if I would even urge, if any of you are going to practice, we will make sure some of you practice during the next few days. I want to hear stories about any changes that it has been to your state of mind in the next class. All right, so let's move to the next section, which is mindfulness. So all of you know there are a lot of techniques on mindfulness. Mindful breathing, which is what we will practice as part of meditation. So all conscious breathing exercises are mindful breathing. What is mindful breathing? You don't have a thought. You don't think about something while you're doing your breathing, right? You're completely focused on breathing in terms of all the sensations that you have. Similarly, mindful walking. When you walk, you don't listen to music. You don't look at your phone. You don't talk to somebody. So when you walk, there are a lot of things that happen in your body. Your muscles move, you move. There is air flowing. There's breeze that is touching your skin. There are movements that you make to your hand, right? And there is sweat that happens. So you kind of experience every part, every sensation in your body as you make that step consciously, every step consciously. That is mindful walking. Again, you can look up that in the web. Mindful eating, another fabulous practice that we've seen a lot of students at our retreats undergo and report changes. So eating very consciously, completely conscious. feeling the food with your fingers, tasting the food with your tongue completely, smelling the food with your nose, seeing it completely conscious, right? And hearing any sound that it makes or whatever. So all using all your five senses, complete appreciation of the five senses without any other thoughts, without looking your mobile, without talking to someone, right? Complete focus, complete chewing till the food is completely becomes liquid and then swallowing it, right? They say drink your food and eat your water, right? So very similar. So complete mindful eating, absolutely different level of consciousness. A lot of people who practice mindful eating say they eat less. They eat only as much as they need. Usually what happens, we keep thinking about some we overeat, right? But when you do mindful eating, you stop when you need to stop. Then similarly, there are 5 elements mindfulness: labeling the thoughts, being aware more about your thought, thinking about it as past, future, necessary, and always practicing the 4th agreement. There are 4 agreements. There is a wonderful book called 4 Agreements. I forget the name of the author. So 4 agreements that again, you practice those mindfully every day, right? I think they are: do not assume anything, always do your best, do not be impeccable with your words. So I think there's one more, so you can do that. Don Miguel, yeah, someone has wrote it. So Don Miguel agreement as well. He's written another book on it. So practicing those all make you a lot more mindful, right? So that completes the mind or psychology part of techniques that allow you to kind of shift your consciousness. There's one last thing which I've always been passionate about. It's called flow. So some of you might have heard about the flow. What is flow? Anytime you see someone deeply engrossed in work, deeply engrossed in cooking, deeply engrossed in knitting, deeply engrossed in coloring, deeply engrossed in sport, right? And you see the points there: group activity, arts, dance, music, any deep work, rituals, anything that you're completely conscious of it. You lose your mind in that. You don't do conscious thinking. You lose your mind. All fear, dislike, aversion, all those thoughts vanish. That is the whole goal of meditation, right? So you go beyond it, and then you complete state of consciousness called flow. In yogic science, that is called the state of samadhi, right? And even in Buddhist science, they talk about it as jhanas, very deep states of consciousness, right? So you flow, you allow things to flow. You don't restrict that with your thoughts. That is what is called the flow. And more often you find it in sport. A lot of people who are totally playing, you'll see them play totally magical, right? I mean, you could be any cricketer, could be footballer. There's a lot of books again around it, how sports person. In fact, there's a book on how a famous basketball person, I'll just keep forgetting the name. So they move to a place, even Michael Jordan talks about it, right? They are able to move to a place before the ball comes. They're able to anticipate the ball by being in the right position. That means they are in the state of flow. They know what needs to be done, but they don't think consciously, right? They are there for some reason. If you ask them, how did you know that the ball will come there? How are you there at the right place? Right? They wouldn't have an answer. So again, these are states of consciousness. We're all allowed to be in the state of flow throughout the day, and that is what is the ultimate goal of all these techniques. And there are certain conditions for flow. Please feel free to research on the web. Flow cannot happen in an area where you do not have a skill or you do not have practiced it. So flow needs to be having some clear goal. There should be some feedback. It should match that skill. For example, if I do not know to play cricket, I cannot go play cricket and expect a state of flow. For me, from a corporate world, I've had this state of flow when I do these presentations, corporate presentations, right? There are stages when I just completely get lost in that. And after the presentation, people come and tell me, oh, Sai, that was a fabulous presentation. You covered these topics. I wouldn't have even be thinking that I've covered those topics, right? So that is one state. Usually what happens, we are in a state driven by ego consciousness, right? Every time we do the presentation, I keep thinking, what is the other person thinking? Am I talking right? Will that person think, oh, this guy is blabbering, right? Will that person ask me a question that I'll not be able to answer? These are the thoughts that keep on going. This crowd your consciousness, you'll not be able to do things effectively. Whereas the other state of flow is absolutely You just allow ideas to come in, intuition to come in. Right? There are certain, there's something called micro flow and macro flow. Some of the things that you saw in mindfulness, mindful eating, mindful walking, they're all states of micro flow, very small activities, very small duration. Macro flow are the ones like that happen in art, dance, and sport. All right, my dear friends. So those are the broad categories. I'll quickly summarize it before we dive into a meditation. So, but there are also the other state, which are induced states of altered states of consciousness, which induce altered state of consciousness, medicines. For example, as I said, when you have a severe headache, when you are not well, you are in a state of consciousness, right? When you have a medicine, it could be, I don't know, whatever painkillers that we have, or some of the medicines that you take for COVID and everything. So what happens? It releases some biochemicals into your body. It goes and numbs the part of the brain. Immediately what happens? You are in a different state of consciousness. You feel very relieved. You feel peaceful. You feel joyful. The pain goes away. So there is a shift in state of consciousness. Even that is a shift. Even that alters consciousness. That is biochemicals, right? And then similarly, psychedelics, right? You might have heard about some drugs that actually alter your state of consciousness. It gets you into the theta and delta states, where you go into some kind of hallucinations, you go into different worlds, but even those alter the state of consciousness. Right? Again, there are a lot of studies again that have concluded. So there are states that you can get into some of those states through meditation, through flow, or through psychedelics. And there are books that have been published. There's one book called Altered Traits by Stephen Kotler that talks a lot about research, about how these three, they published studies about different people have done studies around these and the science behind how they alter the state of consciousness there. So biochemicals is one that obviously it's not an area of subject that we want to cover. So in summary, so here are the different tools and techniques that we've covered. So as I said, there are energy-based techniques, and under each of those, I think we've covered a minimum of 5. So you can easily look at 5 plus 2, 10, at least 50 techniques that we talked about today. Right, so energy-based techniques and insight-based techniques, we looked at breathwork, meditation, mindfulness. Again, meditation, there are different parts of, okay, so I'll cover that, hatha yoga and things like that. And then each of those techniques has a certain benefit. There are breathworks, for example, just the conscious, coherent breathing, right? I talked about easily calms your mind. And continuous practice of it cleanses. Some of the practices like transcendental breathwork, it also cleanses your subconscious, right? Removes your emotional patterns, right? That is why you see the tick, it calms, it cleanses. Certain breathwork, just focus, allows you to sharpen your focus, calms your mind. Certain types of breathwork does cleanses. Meditation obviously covers all three. Again, in that meditation, there are some focus meditation, like mantra meditation, like light meditation, whatever it is. They just immediately allow you to focus much better. It doesn't do the job of cleansing. So, but continued practice of that allows you to cleanse your emotions, allows your intuitions to happen, which is the connecting part of it. Mindfulness, as I said, it calms your mind. It allows you to connect your intelligence. Flow activities calms your mind, allows you to connect your intelligence. Hatha yoga, again, calms and cleanses. Continued practice. Again, the empty boxes that you see there continue to, maybe there is a little bit of effect in there, but predominantly the check marks are, you see what is the predominant benefit of that particular thing. Right? Even in breath, just like in breathwork, for example, when students come to us, they say, I want to improve my concentration before exam. We don't go to the 9 yards of meditation like breath mindfulness. We just teach them a very simple word-based meditation that allows them to increase their focus, or heartfulness-based meditation, right? Similarly, emotional healing, reflection, and any new insights, all of them have an effect on cleansing. It removes your unhelpful beliefs, unhelpful habits, reprograms your inner beliefs, right? We saw several things like 5 whys, EFT, Ho'oponopono, right? Inner child and things like that. The last point we didn't cover too much about that also kind of has the shifts in consciousness is accomplishment. What is accomplishment? Accomplishment is something that you achieved on that particular day. It could be that very simple, that you feel happy that you woke up on time. You feel happy that you enjoyed a great meal. That is where gratitude, for example, you can tie that to gratitude as well. So anytime you feel you feel you accomplished something. You've been working on some project. You've been trying to reach a friend. You've been wanting to call that particular person. That's been there in your consciousness for a while. Oh, I need to call that. I need to talk to that person. I need to do that particular work. But once you finish the work, accomplishment is completion of the work that is being loaded into your consciousness. Once you accomplish something, then immediately the load on your mind, the stress on your mind reduces, right? All of you might have felt that empties the mind. And then you are in a different state of consciousness. Your mind is absolutely calm, absolutely peaceful. Some of us who be in IT, this happens when you're done with the release, you shipped a product, you met your goal, right? You are in that, oh, wow, now let's relax, right? So that is the calming state of mind. And then that state of mind, you also connect your inner consciousness because you're completely relaxed. The more relaxed you are, more you are away from your subconscious patterns, and the more you are away from your subconscious pattern, you are closer to your superconscious mind also. All right. So that's a summary of this. Before we dive into meditation, I just want to kind of talk about a program that's coming up in Pyramid Valley. It's an in-person residential workshop, 2-day workshop. It's called Heal Your Inner Child. This is like a inner child healing. A lot of times, most of our subconscious patterns and pain and beliefs that we stored is because of things that have happened in our childhood. And there is a huge science behind it, which there are several practitioners have made it popular. And in PSSM, Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi Newton have done a lot of work, and they train a lot of therapists on this. And as part of the Pyramid Valley faculty, we have Manusha, who's been trained in this. So she's going to conduct this session on April 23rd and 24th. Is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on 23rd to 24th, Saturday and Sunday at Pyramid Valley in Bangalore. So for those of you who are interested, you can look at the details at pyramidvalley.org/innerchild and register there. The reason I brought this up today is because that was one of the emotional healing technique that I mentioned. It's called inner child. You also do PLR, right? Past life regression. So, and it covers several of those processes that I mentioned as well. Things like the parts auditorium, things like the empty chair, right? Things like letting go of beliefs and all that. All those will be covered over 2 days, morning 9 to 5. So please feel free to register, look up the details and register. Again, there is a limited set of accommodation and seats that you can take up, and you can share this information with other people as well. So that's been a lot of techniques today. So now let's get into an assimilation process where we get into meditation. So we're going to practice this body scan meditation. Usually it takes a long time, an hour, but we will do a quick version of it. So what we will do is we will get into our meditative practice. You will settle down, bring your attention back to your breath. As you do following your breath, you continue to follow your breath. Then I will ask you to slowly bring your awareness to different parts of your body. We'll start with your legs, your toes, your ankle, your knees. So we'll kind of do it a bit quick. So you bring your awareness to that particular point and feel any sensations, feel the relaxation, feel the stiffness. So you are spreading your attention throughout the different parts of your body, right? And it's not just for so. Well, you continue to stay anchored in your breath, but it's more or less like feeling, breathing with that particular body part. So you look at the sensation. So this is another relaxation technique, and at the end of it, a lot of it people will feel completely relaxed, calm. That again moves you into a different state of consciousness, right? And you can practice it any time of the day. And there are videos and audios that are available on the Pyramid Valley channel as well. All right, my dear friends. So with that, I'll play very light music so that you'll be able to hear my instructions as well. So let's relax. Let's get into comfortable posture. Remove your spectacles, clasp your hands, cross your feet at your ankle, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, sit absolutely comfortable, spread your legs comfortably as well. Slowly bring your attention to your breath. You can do this slow, conscious, equal breathing for a couple of minutes. Just breathe in slowly. Count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale and then exhale to a count of 4. For 2 minutes, just do slow breathing without holding your breath. Relaxes your body, makes you more conscious of your breath. Now slowly bring your attention to your natural breath cycle, what we call as following your breath. Follow your breath right from observe the way you inhale, observe the moment air gets into your nostrils, feel the sensations in your nose, in your throat area, in your chest area, feel the movement of your stomach. And similarly, as you exhale, feel the sensations on your stomach, your chest, your neck, your nose, and feel the air going out on the surface of your upper lips. Become aware of the complete process. Observe your breath in a completely relaxed manner. No thoughts, no distractions. Just bring your attention back to your breath. Just follow your breath for a couple of more minutes. Now, my dear friends, slowly bring your awareness to your feet. As you continue to be with your breath, scan each of your feet for any sensations, stiffness, itching, tightness. Observe your toes, the lower part of your feet, your top part of your feet, your ankle. Feel the relaxation. Just observe any sensations in that part of the body as you breathe in and breathe out. It is like scanning with your attention. Now, slowly move your attention to your lower leg, between your ankle and your knees. Scan your lower leg with your attention and become aware of any sensations, stiffness, or just feel that part of the leg. No analysis, no thoughts. You do not feel that is okay. But just move your attention from your ankle to your knee to your ankle on each of your legs. Feel it relaxed. There is something happening inside. Feel the pulses. Feel the vibrations of the energy flowing in your lower leg. As you continue to breathe in normally and breathe out normally, now slowly bring your attention to your upper leg, between your knees and your hips. Feel the way you are sitting. Feel the pressure on your thighs. Feel the energies. Feel the tightness. Give it all your awareness. No other thoughts. Now, slowly move your attention to your stomach area. Feel the area around your navel. Pay attention to the area below your navel, above your navel, and the entire stomach area. Feel the movements of your stomach as you breathe in and breathe out normally. Feel the sensations as your skin touches your clothing. Become fully aware of all the movements and sensations in your stomach region. Slowly move your attention to your lower back, right behind your stomach region. Scan your lower back with your attention and feel all sensations. Feel it relaxed or tight. Feel it stiff. No judgment, no analysis. It's okay if you do not feel anything, but move your attention across your lower back. Now, slowly move your attention to your upper back. Feel the entire upper back. Your backbone, your back of your lungs, the entire area between your neck and your lower back. Observe how it feels. No analysis again. If you see any movement of your clothing, observe the sensation. Now, slowly move your attention to your chest region. Become aware of every part of your chest region. Feel your heart beating. Feel the movement of the chest due to your breathing and any other sensations. Feel the lightness. Bring a picture of someone or something that you like the most, something you love the most, and observe the feeling in your heart region, how it feels. No analysis. Feel the joy. Feel the lightness. Feel the peace in your heart chakra. Slowly move your attention to your palms area. Observe or become aware of your fingers, your palm, your back of your palm, and your wrist on each hand. Relax it if you're holding it tight. Feel the way you clasp your fingers. Become fully aware of your palm area. Now, slowly move your attention to your forearm, the region between your palm and your elbow. Observe the sensations in that area. Feel the lightness. Slowly move your attention to your upper arm, between your elbow and your shoulders. Relax your arms. For every in-breath and out-breath, feel the energy flowing through your upper arm, through your entire arms. Feel the tingling through your arms. Slowly move your attention to your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Feel the relaxation. Scan your shoulders from your left shoulder to your right shoulder, across the throat area. Feel the lightness. Feel the relaxation in your shoulders. Feel the way it is positioned. Slowly move your attention to your head. Become aware of every part of your head, from above your forehead to between your ears and to the top just above your neck. Feel the lightness. Feel your hair moving because of any fan. Feel the relaxed nature of the energies moving through your head. Now, slowly move your attention to your face. Become aware of every part of your face. Scan through your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, the way it is closed, your nose, the lightness in your cheeks, your lips, your chin, your ears, feel the pleasantness in your entire face. Feel the tingling sensation across your face. Now, bring your attention to your nostrils. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel your feel your breath flowing through your entire body. Your face, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your back, your stomach, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your foreleg, your calf muscles, your ankle and your feet. Feel the flow of energies across your body. As you breathe in and breathe out, energy flows happen throughout the nadis or channels across your body. We are usually not aware of those because of the clouds of our mind. So we pay more attention to each part of our body as we become more mindful. You can feel the energy flows. Feeling those energy flows is a higher level of conscious awareness. Continue to be with your breath flowing through your body, my dear friends. Enjoy the lightness, enjoy the relaxation, enjoy the experience for 2 minutes. Wonderful. Feel the tingling sensations flowing across your body. Slowly bring your attention to your heart region. Bring the feeling of gratitude, thankfulness to everything and everyone. Feel grateful for all the people, all the situations that have brought you to this moment. Say thank you in your mind. Slowly relax your body. Feel happy. Unclasp your hands. When you are ready, place your hands, place your palms on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes. Wonderful. Was it good? Wonderful. Thank you. So this is a shorter version of the body scan meditation that we do. We focus more time on each part of the body with like fingers, like toes, every part of the body. So today it was like a macro body scan meditation. So it's good. So you can do it anytime you want. And what it does is obviously helps you expand your awareness. And this is a remedy, like what I was saying in the earlier class. For anyone who's doing meditation, there are too much happening here, headache, pain, energy flowing there. It's a good idea for you to use this exercise to make sure your awareness spreads across your body so that you don't focus more on the head. Okay, so with that, just a couple of minutes, we'll see what questions we have. So we'll take a few questions. Let me unmute. If you have questions, you can type on the chat window or raise your hand. We have one hand raised. Mr. Galaxy A8 Plus. Sir, if you want to unmute yourself, yeah. Please say your name and ask a question. You can unmute yourself. Sorry, allow participants to unmute. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, now yes.
Yeah. I think it was very excellent points have been raised, but I think each things require at least more than a day for you to go deeply into each. I felt, and that will be very.
Yes, sir.
We are grateful to you for conducting this, but I thought you could even relax. I think you were in a hurry to finish with your time. You could have taken probably 2 or 3 classes on this.
Yeah, that is true. So you could have taken more, but again, the thing is, not everyone will be happy with all the techniques. Yeah, definitely, we will do that.
But it's a huge lot of information for us to digest. I felt that's my personal opinion. Probably many people could get through that.
Yeah, but I agree. I think the idea was to give you an overall flavor of what is all there in the space so that you can go do your research. Yes, sir, I agree. Maybe you can do some special sessions. So one point I'd want to highlight, I missed earlier, I remember now, is for any of us, a variety of those techniques can be applied. Not everyone need to go through all that, right? So for example, you have meditation, you can combine meditation with breath work and one mind exercise so that you can go deeper into meditation. Especially for people who have too many thoughts coming during meditation, right? You can do some cleansing through breath work and maybe some mind work to kind of clear up their emotions, and they'll get through meditation. It's a combination of those. You can experiment with multiple of those. Okay, sir, your question?
Yes, sir. No, we're just grateful to you for conducting this with a very open heart. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Where are you from, sir?
So I'm from Anand Nagar, Bangalore.
Okay.
Ati Nagar.
Ati Nagar. Okay. So hope to see you in Pyramid Valley sometime.
I told you, I attended the previous program, residential program.
Oh, I see. Okay.
With Purnima ji.
Oh, yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay, we were having that, and it was a fantastic, enlightening session.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Manisha Patel, can you switch on our video, unmute? Madam, you have to unmute. Yeah.
Right, sir. Good evening, sir. It was really a very pleasant session, and I just very good knowledge I got from your session. But I'm since in meditation since from 1 year, but I had so many doubts. Like this must be a very simple for you. For me, it's very big doubt. I just want to know, like, through meditation, how your karmas are released. Like, how is it possible that your karmas are released through meditation, sir?
Yeah, good question. There's a lot of science behind it. So
right.
all karmas are formed as those vasanas and samskaras in our subconscious mind. Right? From a neuroscience perspective, those are the subconscious patterns that we call in the subconscious mind. Mm-hmm. Through meditation, as I said, your consciousness goes to that deeper level. Mm-hmm. And dissolves, cleanses those karmas. That's what when I showed that slide on cleansing, mm-hmm. all that cleansing is the emotional patterns that we gain through this lifetime as well as from past lifetimes. So there is a science behind it, and all meditations talk about it. A lot of research also on that. So this is a way of passively clearing our karma just through meditation, right? Other ways also kind of do good or change your thinking and things like that. In this case, meditation automatically helps doing that. In deeper states of meditation, those things happen. It touches your subconscious mind or unconscious mind and clears those.
And one more thing, like, how do you know, like, your karmas are clear? Like
the moment you stop facing pain, the moment you feel pain, moment you start feeling not troubled by things, that means you are free of karma. Karma basically ultimately it adds to pain.
Pain in the sense body pain or any
No, so emotional pain, not just body pain. It's emotional pain, emotional discomfort, anxiety, fear, likes, dislikes, cravings, all that.
Right. Even the relationships also, I think.
Relations also get smoothened up, right? So you don't worry about relationships. You don't get angry in relationships. So all those get cleared.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, we have Neeta Patel. Yes, ma'am. Can you unmute yourself?
Namaste, Sai Krupa Sagar. You are Sagar of knowledge, I should say. I am from Canada. So I'm very happy that you have taken up these classes and I'm gaining a lot of knowledge out of it. Now, today we did the body scan meditation. Actually, Anapanasati is like taking our what should I say? To our breath, right?
Breath, just focusing on our breath, yes.
Focus on breath. So if we focus on the body parts, is it the same thing?
Yeah, the technique is Anapana, right? So the way we are focusing our sensations, usually it goes over to a bit of Vipassana. So Vipassana is about observing your sensations throughout your body. That's one type of meditation, right? So you must have heard about Vipassana. So the beginning part of Vipassana is Anapanasati, right? So you can do it either way. So what happens is as you continue to focus your breath, automatically you'll start feeling sensations, right? So there are like 3 or 4 stages in Anapanasati, even without you observing. So in body scan, we are consciously observing the different parts. Whereas in Anapanasati, in stage 3 of Anapanasati, you obviously start feeling those energy currents automatically happening.
Yeah, I always feel that. Yeah.
Feel that, yes. So that's the way you get there. But for some of us who want to speed up the process or have issues focusing on our breath, a body scan is a better, faster way of relaxation.
Okay.
It's more a relaxation exercise, whereas it contributes to Anapanasati, and then Anapanasati does all the 9 yards in terms of calming, cleansing, and connecting.
Yeah, whenever I do meditation, I feel tingling sensation on my upper arm every time.
Okay.
And sometimes on the head also.
So if you continue to do this body scan for a while, slowly you'll start feeling sensations across your body. You're doing Anapanasati itself.
Okay.
So you're just clearing up those things that are hiding that awareness. That is all. So it'll happen.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Srilata.
Yeah. Am I audible, Master?
Yes, ma'am. Please go.
Yeah. Thank you, Master. The meditation was wonderful. Last time I have attended your book club. It was super. I got little bit knowledge from that. I gained a lot of English knowledge also. I was not that much fluent, but I still tried to attend. But I got a lot of knowledge, and I started teaching for students, and I'm translating this all the English into Telugu and teaching for Telugu guys over here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's really thank you, Master. And my manifestation to attend your class became true. Last time also I attended your class.
Very good.
Thank you, Master. Thank you. My one of the question is that is it necessary to know the past life regression? So what we can get from that?
Yeah. So not necessary. It's not necessary to know the past life. The idea is that is one of the healing techniques. Whereas for us in meditation, in normal emotional cleansing happens, right? So so past life is one of those insight-based cleansing. Suddenly you remember, you become conscious of something in the past life and say that is what is attributing some problem, and then that goes away. Whereas in meditation, it happens automatically. The answer to your question is not necessary. It's not needed per se.
Is there anything we can say sorry, what we have done, since?
Yeah, so there is this. yes, there is this Ho'oponopono technique I mentioned, right? So it's basically about, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, right? So those are things, again, those are tied to affirmations plus bringing that. So those are all enough for you to kind of get rid of some of those emotions. So there are a lot of those techniques. You can use those in combination with your regular meditation. That will help.
Regular. Oh,
Yes.
thank you. So
Welcome.
I teach like gratitude every day at the end of the meditation. Like now, Chandra Master is
Yes.
training that. So the sorry in sense where we have to teach.
No, okay. So sorry, that sorry is a totally different meditation, right? That's just an emotional cleansing part. So if you're teaching meditation followed by gratitude, that is perfect. Right. Only thing that I add, I don't know whether you watched my breath to breath, breath by breath session or series, is that at the beginning of the meditation, I do 5 minutes. I add 5 minutes of coherent breathing, that slow breathing that we did today. So breathing for 5 minutes, then Anapanasati, breath mindfulness meditation for like 20 or 30 minutes, and then close with 5 minutes of gratitude. So that is the sequence that is more effective.
So now you have given the link over there, Telegram link, so we can get all your classes over there.
Yeah, all the classes are there on YouTube. So any additional resources, any additional pointers to some of the websites and links, we'll post in it like that.
Means almost I found only Chandra Master's class. So I was searching.
Madam, you go to Pyramid Valley. You go to
Yes.
so you go to YouTube, search Pyramid Valley International and Coherence.
Yes.
And then you will see all these videos.
Thank you, Master. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we have Kiran, Mike.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you so much for this session. It's a lot of theory part that I'm learning that is making it more valuable for me at least. And it's funny to see like how all these techniques that you have mentioned, like the EFT, Ho'oponopono, those are some few of the things that I came across in the recent last 1-2 years, and I've been practicing Ho'oponopono. And my question is, it's not like practice it that I practice like every day, but like whenever I feel about it. But like even that, just like meditation, it is important that you do it every day, so you'll start seeing it, start manifesting those affirmations. And I think it is suggested to do like the 21 days, but it was very, very hard for me because like when you go deeper into that Ho'oponopono, like all the problems that you have, if classified into 4 problem areas: the health, the relations, money, and career. And if somebody is having problems in all 4 areas, and then if you have to do Ho'oponopono prayer for every one of that, each one of that, like sometimes during the deepest emotional times, it used to take me more than an hour or 2 just to do that. And it was very, very daunting. And then I wouldn't be able to do it the next day with the same intensity. But the day I had done that, I used to feel really, really better. Like definitely it worked. So, and now I'm actually into this actual meditation, the mindful breathless thing, which I'm able to enjoy. And like right from the first 1 or 2 sessions, I started feeling that numbness in my head and started feeling a couple of the visuals, not to a greater extent, but like, it's like, oh wow, what's happening to me, right? And that has created more curiosity that I'm trying to be consistent with meditation. However, the adding Ho'oponopono and EFT to this meditation, I know like it will be more helpful, but the time is the constraint, because right now I'm spending a lot of time on just the meditation, keeping everything aside, including my household chores or everything, just so that I can take care of myself. So any suggestions on how you would manage, especially when you're trying to use any of these techniques to gain that consciousness?
Yes, ma'am. Good question. So I know, so that's the other side of knowing or having too many techniques in our bag, right? So we want to kind of be doing as many of those to get the maximum effectiveness. But my suggestion is, I think this is what we follow, and we've done it in several retreat participants, is Ho'oponopono and EFT, right? EFT probably you can do it outside of your meditation as well. But Ho'oponopono doesn't need to be done every day. Okay, so just like transcendental breath work, Ho'oponopono is again a very intense emotional cleansing process. So as you said, it just takes a lot of time, and then again, you would have to spend a lot of energy. And every day spending that much time is not is a challenge, right? So Ho'oponopono, you could probably do it once a week, right? And then you can allow to spend more time on the normal meditation, breath mindfulness meditation, Anapanasati. But as one of the partners said, and one of the questions is, you can do gratitude, right? The gratitude exercise, breath work and meditation can be done every day. Your Ho'oponopono can be done weekly once, and EFT can be done on the spot anytime you feel anxious, something like that, right? Or you want to do affirmations, you can continue to do it, but that doesn't take too long a time. But one suggestion is, do not try to do Ho'oponopono every day.
So one thing I realized is, in the beginning, I would take like every feeling and would do that Ho'oponopono prayer, and gratitude prayer is included as part of the Ho'oponopono, because the first thing you're saying is you're taking the full responsibility and you're thanking for that feeling and that person, or that action, or any of that. So later on, I started doing one whole big thank you, like, which is totally like a gratitude, not taking one specific feeling, and then doing that rest of the 3 statements for everything. So it's like all together. I don't know if it's going to work, but at least I was trying to do that. But yeah, it has been very emotionally daunting, like, to really do that.
Yes, that's what. So you can, whatever be, just keep it simple. Just conscious breathing meditation, just focus on your breathing and then end it with the gratitude. Or you could do gratitude offline also with the 5-finger gratitude or something like that. But Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono is a lot more than just gratitude, right? It is intense, so you can do it occasionally or weekly once or something.
And another question I have is, like, when you have like the teenage kids who are growing here in US, like, and who go through that cultural dichotomy and the resistance, like trying to be very deep rooted with our culture, but at the same time that they're trying to fit in and into the regular community here. For someone like that going through a difficult situation with that as a teenager, how do we kind of encourage them or get them towards the meditation? Because as teenagers, like, whatever we say as parents, they may not be listening to us. So what techniques would help? Like, if, let's say, for example, if I'm making a prayer or an affirmation for my kid, would that really help her to start seeing that value and get her into this? Or how do we do that?
Yeah, it depends. The affirmations are generally for yourself. Do not try to do it for others, but you can coin it that way, right? You're happy with your kid, or I'm always happy that my kid does. Happy with whatever is designed for my kid and things like that. So you can do that. See, the way, there are a lot of these techniques that we've covered, right? Some of them are intense, some of them are very easy. The way I would put it, just like I'm sure all of them are doing physical exercises, similarly, these are mind exercises, right? And then things like breathwork will help them concentrate, focus on whatever activity they are doing, be it their hobby, their sport, their studies. So you can start off there and then slowly get into things like meditation and other activities. So among the list of things that you've seen today, there will be 1 or 2 that they can easily start off and then over time get into some of the intense practices.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All the best. All right, so I think we've very severely run out of time by 20 minutes. I know it was a bit of a long session and we tried doing a lot bigger meditation. Having said that, please feel free to research some of these techniques on the web. Please, you can feel free to unwind, pause the video on YouTube to know more as well. And so those were a bag of around 40 to 50 techniques that we presented. I least mentioned most of those, and some of them we did in details. Anything can be used. I know there were a lot of people who had, I think one master who had issues focusing on in meditation, who had things with OCD and things like that. So you can pick and choose one breathwork technique, make sure you are good with that breathwork, and then start getting into meditation. Or you can pick and choose one of the psychology-based technique, make sure you're doing that well, and then get into meditation. So it's a question of mix and match. The beauty is there are so many spiritual scientists, spiritual masters, and yoga researchers before us who've done all these techniques, and a lot of science and research published. So everything will work. What works for you will be only a few handful because of your state of evolution, your state of consciousness, state of mind, right? Just pick those and stick with it. Again, don't overdo it. Just keep it simple, one technique at a time or a couple of techniques at a time. With that, now that we've seen what is consciousness, the model of consciousness, and the tools that alter the state of consciousness, from the next session, which is next Saturday, we'll dive deeper into things like the body-mind dynamics. How do we get your body and mind into coherence? So techniques are going to be the same. We're not going to focus on it, but the science behind why your body gets disease or illness because of the disconnect between what you think and what you feel, right? And that's going to be next week. And we're going to do one again special guided meditation that Manusha is going to walk us through. Then following that, we're going to do a bit more on the mind and soul dynamics. And then towards the third last session, we're going to talk more about conscious creation, flow, and manifestation. All right, my dear friends, with that, I will leave you to your weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining, and see you next week. Thank you very much.
Sir, I have one question. Can I ask you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I thank you for all wisdom once. And I like to know what is the Hopno, because I didn't understand
The
about that.
Ho'oponopono is a technique for emotional cleansing. It's basically a meditation where you bring things into your mind and state some statements like thank you, I'm sorry. There's a sequence. So you can search on the web or YouTube, sir. There are a lot of videos around it.
So
It's
it
a
is
technique.
like gratitude.
It's more than gratitude.
Okay.
It's recollecting some incident and then expressing it. It's about forgiveness plus gratitude.
Forgiveness and gratitude both
Yes,
together.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Welcome to the Pyramid Valley International, Bengaluru, India. The pyramid is meant for meditation. It has got the high energies. Enjoy the high energies of the Maitreya Buddha pyramid and the serene circumstances of this valley. Spiritual science is the basis for all other sciences. In spiritual science, we understand that we are all gods, come here of our own accord onto this earth planet to see that the earth planet becomes a heaven and not a hell. How we can transform this hell into a heaven, that is the subject matter of spiritual science. And masters of spiritual sciences are experts in spiritual sciences. Meditation is the doorway for enlightenment. Enlightenment is the doorway for welfare, health, wealth, well-being, and joys in life. Meditation is the foundation of spirituality. Spirituality is the superstructure built on the foundation of meditation. Everybody should dedicate a couple of hours every day for meditation. Every day, as we dedicate our life to meditation, we become a source of inspiration, joy, energy to everybody around, everything around, every being around. We emanate energy. We want to see the whole world become a joyful place for every being, every animal being, every plant being, every mineral being. That is the duty of every human being, to provide joy and energy to every other being.